So the second half of 2024 is here. And what I want to go over is what buyer opportunities are available in this second half of the year. Now, the first half of the year is gone. It got off to a slow start. We were kind of expecting, the interest rates to help out and come down a little bit, but that didn't happen. Now, for the second half of 2024, I want to use the word transition. Now, what I mean by transition is hopefully we see a transition in inventory, a transition in mortgage rates, and hopefully we also see a transition in home prices. Now, before I explain the transition that we're hoping for, let's rewind a little bit towards the end of 2023. There was a survey put out, and as you can see on the slide below, last fall, 3 out of 4 buyers paused their home search, and these were the top reasons that they gave. 1, mortgage rates were too high. 2, home prices were too high. They could not find something within their price range. 3, they were unsuccessful in putting in an offer, meaning they were either outbid or they were in competition with cash buyers. And 4, they just couldn't find the right house. So if that was the number one reason that people were withholding or pausing their search, and if the interest rate do come down this year, then that's why we say transition, because it's going to put more people in the market, hopefully to start trying to, resume their home search or resume their home purchases. Now, Daniela Hale, chief economist with Realtor.com, said this: home shoppers who persist could see better conditions in the second half of the year, which tends to be somewhat less competitive seasonally and might be even more so since inventory is likely to reach 5-year highs. So what she's basically saying is that shoppers could see better conditions this second half of the year, but then again, what are they using as factual information to back this up? Now, first of all, we can see that the inventory of existing homes is improving. Now, we can see the month supply of the existing homes from January, February, March, April, May, it's going up. You can see we have a 3.7 months of inventory currently in the housing market. Now, what does that mean, 3.7 months of inventory? Now, what that means is that if no other homes came on the market today, it'll take 3.7 months for all those homes to sell. Now, a healthy market usually has about 6 months of inventory. That's kind of like a balance. It's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market, it's kind of balanced in between. Usually that's 6 months of inventory. So 3.7 kind of still shows that it is a seller's market. Now, it is going up slightly, but it's an improvement. And based on that survey that I showed you earlier, the top 4 reasons that people weren't buying was that they were saying that there wasn't the right home. And now we see that there's more homes coming on the market. And that's why I wanted to use the word transition, because hopefully interest rates do come down here pretty soon towards the end of the year. 2, we're seeing inventory, so there's more options, which was one of the reasons that a lot of people paused their home search late last year or beginning of this year. It was lack of inventory or opportunity. What we're also seeing is less buyer competition, and we could track that by the number of showings. As you can see here on April, it's down to about 181. That's their index. This is what shows or tells us how many showings are having. It's slightly down, so less people are looking at houses today. Now, this is the information that the economists are using forecast that it's going to be a better opportunity for buyers the second half of 2024. Now, the third variable I want to talk about that goes into the mix here is new construction inventory. You can see on this graph, new construction, the availability of new constructions is up. Now, new construction, the builders have a flexibility, to offer concessions, to buy down your rate, to give you more opportunities because they want to get rid of this inventory. And as a matter of fact, 1 in 3 homes out of that inventory is new construction. And despite the number of homes in inventory, there's still a shortage of housing in the country. Now, if we start to piece all this together, we're predicting that the mortgage rates are going to come down. All this new construction is helping building up inventory, so there's more options, more opportunities for buyers. There's also we can see that there's less buyer competition. We can see that by the number of showings. And lastly, home prices are moderating. We haven't seen the crazy home appreciation we've seen the last couple of years, and this is all due because of the high interest rates. Now, as you can see in the graph below, home sales over the last few years, we can kind of see that moderate, kind of tampering. We see home appreciations now between 3 and 5%, which is pretty normal, based on previous years, as you can see on this graph. Now, you may be asking, if inventory is going up, why are home prices still going up as well? Now, hopefully this graph will kind of do a good job explaining why that's happening. So what you see here is that even though inventory is rising, we're still way below normal. There's still a housing shortage. If we did have an oversupply in inventory where it was a buyer's market, I think at that point is where we're going to start seeing prices come down. But it's still a seller's market. We're still under inventory, which is why the prices are kind of rising moderately. Now, to summarize all of this for the opportunities for buyers second half of 2024, We can know that the existing home inventory is improving to where there's a 3.7 month supply. We also see that there's more new construction in the market, and we could also see that there's less buyer competition, and we could also see that home prices are moderating. And as we kind of mentioned, there's still about a 3 to 5% home value appreciation. Now, Lawrence Young, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, says this: the first half of the year did not meet expectations regarding home sales, but exceeded expectations related to home prices. In the second half of 2024, look for moderate lower mortgage rates, higher home sales, and stabilizing home prices. Now, what he means by moderate low mortgage rates, it's more of they're forecasting that it might be like a 6.5%. We're hoping that happens. Again, it's unpredictable. We don't know. But if we compare, last year to this year, just seeing the Q4 expectations. Now, for last year, we could see that existing home prices for October 2023, the average was about 391,000, and for this year, we're predicting about 393,000. Mortgage rates last year about 8.03%, and hopefully 6.5% for the Q4. Hopefully it comes down to that. Now, if a lot of this comes true, we can see just by this graph alone that even if it's just the mortgage rates that come down a bit, we can see that it's just an average of about $400 a month just in mortgage payments every month. So you've seen the numbers, and then you're asking yourself, what's the trade-off of jumping in the market right now to buy something versus waiting to see if interest rates go down? Well, if interest rates go down, that means more buyers are going to jump into the market. More buyers in the market means you're going to run into a multiple offer situation. Well, multiple offer situations means that prices are going to go up because they're kind of competing against each other, trying to outbid each other. So that's going to drive the price up. So that means the prices you could buy the home now, you're going to lose on that equity. You're going to lose out on the equity gains that you could have gone if you buy now at today's price. Now, I want to end this with a quote by one of the senior economists over at Zillow Home Loans. Now, he says, the housing market, like so many other markets, is impossible to time. The best time for prospective buyers is when they find a home that they like, that meets their family current and foreseeable needs, and they can afford it. So waiting could mean that you're not going to find the home you like. It's going to mean you're going to settle, and it means you're going to be stuck with a home that you don't like, just trying to buy whatever's available just so you can have a home. Hopefully this information helps you out. Hopefully, it opens up your eyes to what's actually going on in the market today, and it makes you make an informative decision. If you like what you just saw, please consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching. Manny Gonzalez, licensed real estate agent, changing lives one home at a time.